God will restore all your wasted years. Have you ever looked back at your life and thought, what a waste? Maybe there are years you wish you could just forget the choices you made, the relationships that fell apart, the opportunities you missed. It's easy to feel like time has passed you by, like those years will always be a part of you that you can never redeem. But I want to tell you something that can change your perspective. God will restore all your wasted years. We've all had moments when we felt like time has slipped through our fingers. We look back at what we've been through, the pain, the struggle, the mistakes, and wonder how we can ever move forward from that. It feels like a deep, unshakable loss. But here's the truth. God doesn't waste anything. He doesn't look at your past with regret. He sees it as part of your story, a story He's still writing. There's a powerful verse in the Bible that says, I will restore to you the years that locusts have eaten. That verse is more than just a promise. It's a declaration of hope. It's a reminder that no matter how much time we think we lost, God has the power to redeem it. He can take the brokenness, the hurt, and the loss, and turn it into something beautiful. Think about the years you feel have been wasted. Maybe you spent them in unhealthy relationships, in jobs that drained you, or in moments of self-doubt. It's easy to look at those years and think they're gone for good. But the truth is, God doesn't just fix things. He restores them. He makes them new. He has the ability to take what we see as loss and use it to shape us in ways we could never have imagined. Now, I'm not saying that everything happens for a reason in the way we often think. Life can be messy, painful, and unpredictable. We all have seasons where things just don't make sense. But I'm saying that God has the power to redeem those seasons. He can take the mistakes we made, the pain we endured, and the years we feel were wasted, and He can use them for something greater. I want to share something that's been on my heart. Many of us, when we're going through difficult times, feel like we're stuck. We look at the years behind us and wonder if it's too late to make a change. But here's the thing. God is never done with us. His ability to restore isn't limited by time. Even if you feel like you wasted years, whether it's in the wrong job, the wrong relationship, or just feeling lost, God is still working. His timing is perfect, and He has the ability to restore what was once broken. Let's take a moment and think about what restoration really means. To restore something doesn't mean just to fix it. It means to bring it back to its original state, or even better. God's restoration goes beyond just mending the broken pieces. He makes it whole again, and often He makes it even more beautiful than it was before. And that's where the true miracle lies. It's not just about healing the wounds. It's about making those wounds a part of the greater purpose He's calling us to. Those moments of pain, the heartaches we faced, can become the very things that shape our character and strengthen our faith. The years you thought were wasted might be the very years that God uses to prepare you for something greater than you ever imagined. Think about the people in the Bible who went through years of struggle before they saw restoration. Joseph spent years in a pit, then in prison, but eventually he became second in command in Egypt, saving nations from famine. David spent years running from Saul, living in caves and hiding for his life. But he went on to become one of the greatest kings of Israel. Moses spent 14 years in the desert before leading the Israelites to freedom. Each of them went through years of waiting, of pain, and of confusion. But God was working in those years. He was preparing them for something bigger, something more meaningful than they could have ever imagined. So when you feel like your years have been wasted, remember that God doesn't see time the way we do. He doesn't waste anything. Every part of your story, no matter how messy or painful, can be used for His glory. He will restore what has been lost, and He will do it in His perfect timing. Your story is not over yet. The best is still to come. Restoration comes when we trust God with what we've been through. It's about surrendering our past, the hurt, the regrets, the pain, and allowing Him to transform it. It's not easy. It's not always quick. But when we trust in His process, we begin to see how He takes the very things that once felt like a waste and turns them into something beautiful. Imagine this. What if the very things you thought disqualified you, the things you thought made you unworthy, are the things God is going to use to glorify Himself? What if your story of failure becomes a story of triumph? What if your brokenness becomes the vessel through which God shows His amazing grace? That's what restoration looks like. It's not just about fixing what's broken. It's about taking what's broken and making it new. God doesn't just patch things up. He makes them whole. He gives purpose to what seems purposeless. He turns our sorrow into joy, our mistakes into lessons, and our wasted years into something beautiful. So, no matter where are you right now, whether you're in the middle of a storm or you're reflecting on years you wish you could forget, know this: God will restore all your wasted years. It might not happen the way you expect, and it might take longer than you think, but trust me when I say this. And with God's restoration, those years you think were wasted can become the very foundation of the greatest chapters of your life.